You know what's really funny? For starters, I definitely didn't have the Ottawa Charge making it to the finals in my early season PWHL predictions. I remember before the trade deadline and long before we even knew what the expansion draft rules were, also before Emran Smashmeyer got injured. I had suggested that they trade Gwyneth Phillips just so they wouldn't have to lose her for nothing, due to the fact that I thought teams were going to get to protect one goalie. And this is the trade that I originally drew up. This was partially due to the fact that someone like Hensley wasn't playing her best at the time. And if they had brought her in, maybe they wouldn't have to feel as bad about losing a goalie. The other two players here I felt may have just needed a resurgence. This probably has me looking quite foolish at this time based on how Phillips has been playing. Who would have thought they'd be playing each other in the finals now? And this was another big blockbuster that I felt could have happened. At the time that I thought about this, players like Bell and Bourbonnais were spending some time on the third pairing for their teams. And players like Elizabeth Giguère and Rebecca Leslie weren't playing their best in bottom six roles. But when I look at it now, Ottawa has to try and re-sign Leslie this offseason. I don't think the Sirens are going to bring back a Giguère though, and they might lose Bourbonnais in the expansion draft perhaps. It probably would have been fun to see her and Emily Clark play on the same team together though. Number 3. Ottawa should definitely want to bring back Zoe Boyd now. But at the time, she was spending lots of time playing as the 7th D, but now with Jinsey Rose out with an injury, she's been playing on the second pair in the playoffs with Ronja Savalainen. And Maggie Connors was getting 4th line ice time with Toronto. This was a move solely to give a new situation to both players. Plus, at the time, Toronto only had 6D under contract and they could have used a 7th one. Boyd re-signing with Ottawa I'm certain will happen. Connors re-signing with Toronto is still up in the air I think though. And finally, I had the captain of Team Sweden being traded for the captain of Team Austria. Anna Shelbeen eventually became the 7th D that Toronto acquired. And I didn't feel that Anna Meixner was finding her game in the league. But after watching her in the playoffs, I think she's a player you need to look to keep around. Tessa Bonhomme on Jocks and Jills even suggested that perhaps she becomes the 4th player that Ottawa looks to protect. You may be thinking, well, why would they do that? It's because of the fact that there is a salary cap, and not every single star that's available is necessarily going to be taken. But that conversation's for another video. In Shelbeen's case, I don't think that Toronto's going to bring her back despite her being a restricted free agent. To me, she just hasn't fit in super well into the league at this point. Perhaps though the Ottawa Charge will give her a tryout deal before training camp next season. You know, play on the same team as her fiancé. Don't forget to hit that like button and follow me for more PWHL content.